not regret it. I just oh boy. So I want to say that thank you guys for all the support on my Twitter. And for all the support that even the haters, they can hate, suck them, they can suck my fucking dick.
5 attributes by which he hopes to defeat the righteous. He is patient, for he waits every hour and every day of our lives for a moment of weakness. And he may
What we're gonna do today is we're gonna be
wrong, and only by utmost striving can he be resisted. He is fearless, for there are 7 gates by which he may enter a man's heart, and 70 kinds of spirits which live on. This is very troubling. For such a young...
okay. So what we're gonna be doing is we're going to, I think this is the backyard. No, it's the High Overseer office. I'm gonna read a bedtime story. My favorite bedtime story. While every loading screen, we'll start with a new one. There was once a lovely girl who was named Red Riding Hood because she always wore a red cloak. Okay, we're gonna turn this down so when you hear me, you know. Okay. So. I would really need some elixir, so if you haven't played any games, so the red, like the left of the blue, if you go to your touchpad, if you have PlayStation, and you're since it's night and it's like 5:47. Okay, One day, her mother gave her a basket of goodies to bring to her sick granny, who lived on the far side of the forest. Her mother told her not to leave the path, nor talk to any strangers in the woods. But the girl hadn't walked more than 100 steps before she noticed some pretty flowers. What she didn't notice was that a wolf had seen her as she wandered the path to the flowers. "Where are you off to, little girl?" asked the wolf. "Where off to you? Where off to you off to, little girl?" asked the wolf in a very polite voice. "I'm going to my granny's house on the other side of the woods," replied Little Red Riding Hood, forgetting her mother's warning. "She's very sick, and I'm bringing her this basket of goodies to cheer her up."
Cider, if not already within his grasp. Watch her carefully for signs of
Once they
she
are
may
brought
fall
in,
into
the overseers always find the guild they seek.
or laugh or cry without provocation. Perhaps a disfigured man may come, or you might discover small items in the house, branded by a thief, or the bones of rats may be found in the bedroom.
Dies.
Well, Coriander of Thorn. Such serpents are and indeed, sailors off the shores of Pandysia tell of great winged shapes.
Dies.
Such reports are to be believed. But the outsider is something else.
Dies.
A being that haunts creation from first to last.
Okay.
Incorporeal, but not without force. And so...
Dies.
Huh? Get down! Explosion!
Dies.
Okay, so right now we're going to do, we're going to the meeting chambers right now.
I trust the trouble is uneventful. I hear the watch is having trouble holding the side streets.
Use combined.
Bunch of children playing games, that's all it is.
Good, good. And your niece, Callista, isn't it? I'm very concerned about her.
She'll be found. My men are searching district by district.
The poor girl.
Okay, while we're waiting.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to hole up in all this chaos.
If
While
my
the
overseer's here
little girl
anyway,
set off
I'll come
again
straight to
along
you.
the path, the wolf
Time
took
for
a
drinks.
shortcut through the woods
I
to
hope you
Granny's
won't
house.
refuse.
When he
It'll
got
make this
there,
business
he
pass all the
locked the
quicker.
poor old woman in the closet. Then he put on one of her nightgowns
The
and
servants must have been in
lay
here.
down in
Let
her
me
bed.
see. It
Soon
seems I
Little
had
Red
the wrong
Riding Hood
one.
arrived. "Granny," she cried,
Not that
"you
one.
must be very ill. You do not look yourself. Your eyes are so big, and
Here we
your-
are. Now if you'll
and
join
so
me.
are your teeth.
Men will come get you when we're
Why
finished.
is it
Keep each
all
other
better to
entertained
see
in the meantime.
and eat you with my dear?"
I don't understand how this got so unpleasant.
Covers.
agree. A whore dies, and
Why
suddenly
is
this.
all better
Will
to
you have
see
wine?
and
It's a Tivian red.
with my
Thank you.
dear Robe
Now,
the wolf
to business.
pulling back the covers.
What would you
Hood
say
and
happened
Riding
last
Hood.
night?
Hood screamed
To be honest,
and
I'm not
ran
even
out
sure.
out of the house.
My men, your
The wolf
overseers, a few
close
whores,
behind Lucky.
maybe a little too much
Luckily,
ale.
she met a woodcutter.
One harmless
who
prank with a
took his
runaway
shiny
chicken, and
axe
10 minutes
and
later,
chased
Trevor's
away
Alley is a sea of blood and
that
teeth.
nasty wolf,
I almost wish I'd
making
been
sure
there.
he'd never come back. Then the woodcutter and Little Red
Take it
Riding
easy
Hood
there, old son.
let Granny out of the
I'm all right,
closet, and they
Colonel.
all enjoyed the
Gone
goodies
the wrong
from
way.
the little
Now about
girl's
these
basket.
overseers.
And
We're
from
just as
that day,
guilty
the
as my
Little
own
Red Riding
men,
Hood
if not more.
always listened
But my
carefully.
overseers have a name to protect. I can't allow you to.
The three little
can't be
pigs.
happening.
Once upon a time, there were three little
Stop
pigs
this!
What on earth are you
who were
talking about?
brothers.
No time. Listen carefully.
Each
You must
decided to build them a house. The youngest
instruct the
brother
Lord
built
Regent to
house of
burn the
straw.
Black Book. Understand?
Your
Burn
house
it!
What's
will-
Black Book? What do you
your house
mean?
will be blown away
Burn
at the wind.
Then I'll plague you, useless
Softly,
incompetent.
the middle brother, he had
never
built
liked
his
you.
house of sticks. You both fools, said the oldest pig. He decided to build his house out of brick. What the little
Guards!
pigs did not
Guards,
know
get in
was,
here!
was that Hungry Wolf was watching them, waiting for them to catch them.
By the prophecies,
It's
what have you done?
He's been poisoned. There was a younger of your order in here before. An initiate, perhaps. Detain him.
You don't give orders here.
Don't be a fool. He must be
So-
running already.
So
Get
it
after
wasn't
him.
long
I'll be
after
filing a
when
full
the
Stuff
report.
your
youngest
report,
pig
Colonel,
heard a
and
knock
I'll
at the
have
door.
your weapons
Little
at
pig,
once.
little pig.
Idiot.
One
Let
step
me
closer and
in,
I'll
growled
gut
the
You've
wolf.
forgotten where you are,
Not by a
Captain.
hair
You've no
on the
power
chinny
here.
chin chin.
You'll regret this. Clear the line,
Little
guard.
pig, a smart remark, angered the wolf, huffed and puffed. He blew Little Fred house down to the ground.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
Once again with the wolf huffed and puffed, he blew. But the piggies ran to their brother's brick house as fast as they could. The oldest pig let them into the locked door.
Where are you?
But the three pigs heard the wolf from the brick,
Here you
and they
are.
were stuck up and down.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
This brought a cauldron of soup on fire to a bubbling boil. When the wolf slid down the chimney, he landed in the boiling soup. Howling pain, he scrambled back up the chimney, ran far away. From then on, the pigs lived happily together in a brick house and never heard of huff nor puff from the wolf again. The ugly ducklings. Once upon a time, there was a mother duck who had 8 ducklings that were hatched from eggs in her nest. 7 of the ducklings were yellow and fluffy, but the 8th were much bigger than the rest, covered with stringy gray feathers. "That's the ugliest duckling I've ever seen," said the father duck angrily. "Where did it come from?" "My nest like all the rest," asked the mother duck. "I don't know how to turn out so ugly. Maybe he was in the egg too long." If y'all could see the gray duck, I could tell why they disown him. He doesn't look ugly.
Children playing games, that's all it is.
Good. And your niece, Callista, isn't it? I'm very concerned about her.
She'll be found. My men are searching the Red District.
The poor girl.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to hole up in all this chaos.
If my overseers hear any word, I'll come straight to you. Time for drinks. I hope you won't. servants must have been in here. Let me see. Seems I have the wrong one. Not that one. Ah, here we are. Now if you'll join me. Men will come get you when we're finished. Keep each other entertained in the meantime.
I don't understand how this got so unpleasant.
Now what? You? Who are you?
Brothers and sisters teased him all day after day. Soon all the animals in the farmyard were doing the same thing. They called him Ugly. The duckling found a quiet pond. Decided to make his new home. It will be lonely, he said to himself, but at least no one will tease me. All he wished for day after day was a friend, something he had never had before. So when a flock of wild ducks landed in his barn, he was happy to see them. He hoped they would be his friends. "Welcome to my little pond," he said excitedly. "Make yourselves at home." "What is this nasty sight?" said one of the wild ducks. "That's the ugliest creature that I've ever seen." The rest of the ducks all laughed. The poor ugly duckling ran away, crying, and hid his tall weeds. Finally, the wild ducks all flew southwards for the winter. The ugly duckling was way too young to fly, and he had nowhere else to go. He waddled back to his pond. One day, the ugly duckling heard some honking, and looked up to see the most beautiful birds, imagining flying gracefully above them. "I'd give anything to see beautiful as them," he thought. The air grew colder, and the pond began to freeze around him. The ugly duckling sat, shivering in his cold, until a farmer came along and brought him back to his warm farmhouse for the winter. When the spring came, the ugly duckling returned to his pond and was surprised to find some beautiful birds he had seen in the fall. "Welcome, brother," they exclaimed. The duckling lowered his head, certain that they could not be talking to him. Looking down, he saw his reflection in the pond over the winter. He had grown from ugly duckling to beautiful swan. Now he had many friends, and he never ever teased anybody because of the way they looked. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What should I do?
You've been playing games, that's all it is.
Good, good. And your niece, Callista, isn't it? I'm very concerned about her.
She'll be found. My men are searching district by district.
The poor girl.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to
Once
hold up
upon a
in all this
time,
chaos.
there was
If my overseers hear any word, I'll come straight
There
to
was
you.
a family of three bears
Time
who
for
lived in a
drinks.
pretty
I
little
hope you
house deep in the forest.
Make this business
They
pass
led
on quicker.
a quiet, happy life and rarely had visitors. One day, Mama Bear made some delicious
The
porridge
servants
for
must
their
have been in
breakfast.
here.
The porridge was
Let me see.
still
It seems I
far
have the
too
wrong
hot
one.
to eat.
Not that one. No. Ah, here we are. Now if you'll join me. Men, wait, who? What? You! Guard! Who are you? He got his legs!
Now the right.
Stop Stop playing and come out at once.
I'm dead. One day, Mama Bear, so the three bears decided to go for a walk in the woods while it cooled down, since they lived in the deep wood in the woods where very few people ever came. They never locked their door. That was stupid of them. When they went out on the day through, things would be different. It was a perfect day for a walk, and the bears were very happy as they set up. On that very morning, a young girl named Goldilocks happened to be walking through their part of the woods. She was lost and tired and hungry, for she had been wandering for all night. Suddenly, the smell of warm porridge wafted through the
Children playing games, that's all it is.
Good, good. And your niece, Callista, isn't it? I'm very concerned.
She'll be found. My men are searching district by district.
The poor girl.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to hole up in all this chaos.
If my overseers hear any word, I'll come straight
she
to
was
you.
lost and tired. Goldilocks found the smell until she came to the three bears' cottage. The little girl knocked on the door, hoping that whoever was inside would share their breakfast with her. There was no answer. "Hello," said Goldilocks. There was still no answer. She tried the door and opened it easily. Sure enough, on the table in the court, steaming. Surely enough, on the table in the kitchen sat 3 bowls of steaming chicken. When the three bears came home, they soon noticed that someone had eaten Baby Bear's porridge, and that his favorite chair was broken. Then they saw that their beds were messed up, and someone was sleeping in Baby
Men will
Bear's
come
bed.
get you when we're finished.
When Goldilocks
Keep each other
awoke to the
entertained.
3 bears standing over, she screamed and ran away as fast as she
I don't
could.
understand how this got so
As
unpleasant.
fast as her legs could
Oh, I
carry
agree,
her.
I agree.
3 bears
A whore
never heard
dies
from
and
that little
suddenly
girl
this.
again.
Will you
Then
have
on,
wine?
they kept their door
It's a
locked
Tivian red.
whenever they went out.
Thank you.
Now, to business. What would you say happened last night?
To be honest, I'm not even sure. My
There
men,
was
your
once a chick
overseers, a few
named
whores,
Chicken Little.
maybe a little
He was
too much
pecking
ale.
at the ground one day,
One harmless
minding
prank
his
with a
own
runaway
business,
chicken, and 10 minutes later, Trevor's Alley
when
is a
something
sea of blood
hard
and teeth.
fell and hit him right on the
I
head.
almost wish I'd
"Oh
been there.
my, the sky is falling," Chicken Little exclaimed.
Take it easy there, old son.
I'm all right, Colonel.
"I must run and
Down
tell
the
the
wrong
king," and with he
Now
hurried
about
off
these
to the
overseers.
castle.
Just as guilty as my own men.
Soon he had met his friend Henry
My
Penny.
overseers
"The
have
sky
a
is
name to
falling,"
protect.
he said.
I
"I
can't
must
allow
go
you
tell the
to-
king." "Oh dear, I'll go with you," said Henny
This can't be
Penny.
happening.
What
Stop
on earth
this.
are you talking about?
No time, no time. Listen carefully. You must instruct the Lord Regent to burn the Black Book. Understand? Burn it!
What black book? What do you mean?
And then warn them. And then die of plague, you useless incompetent. I never liked you.
What? Campbell? He's dead. Guards! Guards, get in here!
And as they went along, they met their other friends one after another: Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Drakey Lakey, Goosey Loosey, and Turkey Lurkey.
There was a
We're
young
all
bird
very
you're
worried
ordering
about
here
the
before.
sky falling.
An initiate,
So they
perhaps,
all
detained you.
all
You don't
followed
give orders
behind
here.
Chicken Little in a
Don't be
great
a
line.
fool. He must be running already.
We're
Get
off to
after
tell
him.
the king,
I'll be
they
filing a
said
full
proudly to
report.
no one
Report,
and
Colonel,
another,
and I'll
and we're
have your
off.
weapons
They all
at
went
once.
on the road to
One
town.
step closer and I'll
Soon
gut you.
they met Foxy Loxy,
You've no
who
power
pretended to
here.
look very
You'll regret
grave.
this.
When he heard about the sky falling, Foxy Loxy said he knew a shortcut to the castle. In all,
Stand clear. You're gonna bleed. Guards! We'll have to fight our way out.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
Shout if you see. I know you're here somewhere, Star. Keep your eyes.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
Do you think...
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
To break him out of the prison, that's clear. But why Corvo? The one man feared throughout the Empire. He's as bloody-minded as they say.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site. This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site. Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site. Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
Okay. Soon they met Foxy Loxy, who pretended to look very worried. Foxy said he knew. Of course they saw Fox was leading them to a cave where he would be gobbled them up. Lucky Foxy Loxy got caught in the trap, and the Chicken Little saw more acorns falling. He finally figured everything out. Soon in the end they didn't bother the king. Jack in the Beanstalk. This is the last story.
I'll find you. Where are you?
And there's you, Voracious. There you are, my soul. I'll set you free later tonight. Always know that we'll meet again.
I got you now. Whiskey for a...
I'm free. Once upon a time, there was a poor boy named Jack, who lived with his mother on a tumble-down farm. One day, when they had no more money for a way to the market. Jack met a wizard who offered him to trade for magic beans for the cow. When Jack brought the beans home, his mother was furious. "You fool!" she cried. "Now we will starve!" She threw the beans out of the door and sent the boy to bed. The next day there were huge beanstalks beside their house. Jack began to climb it before the mother woke up.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
Jack climbed right up to the sky.
This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect.
When he poked his head above the clouds, the little boy saw the enormous castle. He sneaked up to the window, looking, and he could see a gigantic table laid for dinner. The smell of its food made his empty stomach growl. So Jack crept in. He was just about to reach for a drumstick when all of a sudden he heard a roar. Jack quickly hid under the table and watched as a giant exhibit room. This was a mine never seen.
Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect.
My friend did one. Hers was a 24-hour. And actually, a McDonald's. Pretty creepy. She ate all the food.
Guards, to me! Get behind him!
Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site. Attention! This facility is now in high alert. Lockdown is now in effect. Report to your stations and execute any intruders on site.
What was... This was too easy.
The boy shivered in fear and under the table, listening to the giant eat his huge meal. Then soon he heard snoring, and he knew the giant must have fallen. Then he crept from under the table, and to see food was, he saw a pile of golden eggs. Besides the empty plates, Jack quietly took as many eggs he could and carried and quietly tiptoed towards the door. Poor Jack, when he tried to open the huge wooden door, it let out a creak. The giant awoke with a start and spotted Jack was escaping with his golden egg. "Stop, you little thief!" roared the giant as he began chasing Jack with the thundering footsteps. The giant bounced across the clouds in 2 leaps just as Jack made it into the beanstalk. Jack slid down the beanstalk with the giant, claiming, "When I'll catch you, I'll grind your bones to make bread." As soon as he reached the ground, Jack grabbed an axe and chopped the beanstalk down. The giant fell to the ground with a crash and death on his stone. Jack's mother came rushing out there, afraid that something awful happened to her son. After showing the eggs, Jack gave the golden eggs, told her the whole story. His mother's eyes lit up. "I was wrong, my son. You are not a fool after all," she exclaimed as she hugged him. Jack and his mother sold the eggs for a great amount of money. With the money, they bought more farm animals and hired some people to help plow the land and take care of the animals. The farm became one of the best in the land. They were never poor again. Oh, I swear, I am not in my sleep. No, wake up. How much time has it been? It has been. It has been. It has been. It has been 22 hours. 4 seconds. And guys, I might go asleep. Just gonna close my eyes, okay? I'm not gonna fall asleep. I need some anxiety.